think I'm gonna try to do a barrel roll, and if that goes good, then I'll just go nose down and call it a night.
Heroes never die, but legends live forever. Richard Bebo Russell was one of those people that no one would expect to steal an airplane for one last sunset with the apparent intention of doing a barrel roll. Instantly, the internet had the hero it always needed, but discovered him too late to intervene. What kind of man would decide to walk off the job, take an airplane with him, and fly away? The kind of man that will likely be remembered for decades, not just as a man who snapped, but as a man who acted. It takes a lot of fortitude to do something that rash and crazy, and one has to admire the tenacity it takes in order to do something like that.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Right now he's just flying around, and he just needs some help controlling his aircraft.
Very good. Nah, I mean, I don't need that much help. I played some video games before.
Now, Rich, don't say stuff like that.
Nah, I just told you, I don't want to hear that. I just want you to whisper sweet nothings into my ear. Oh, hell yeah, it's a blast, man. I played video games before, so I know what I'm doing a little bit.
A few minutes later.
Of course, a person shouldn't do something like this, nor should they throw their life away, especially when they have a married spouse at home. As much as this is a tragic story, there are some uplifting details about it. I don't think I can recall somebody facing their own demise with this much enthusiasm before. A lot of people were able to identify with this story in some way, whether it being an alpha male move or an act of desperation from what he described as a broken man. For some, it is their destiny to chase one last sunset and do a barrel roll. As crazy as this story already was, the recordings of him talking to air traffic control went viral, with people across the world listening to this man's last few minutes. Rich the pilot, named affectionately by the internet as Sky Chad, essentially blew off air traffic control as they attempted to walk him through the motions of landing the plane. He seemed to have other plans.
Dang, did you talk to McCord yet? Because I don't think I'd be happy with you telling me I could land like that, because I could mess some stuff up.
Well, Rich, I already talked to him, and just like me, what we want to see is you not get hurt or anybody else get hurt. So like I said, if you want to try to land, that's probably the best place to go.
Hey, I want the coordinates of that orca with the, the mama orca with the baby. I want to go see that guy. Nah, I mean, I don't need that much help. I played some video games before. I feel like I need to be, what do you think, like 5,000 feet at least to be able to pull this barrel roll off? I'm going to land it, in a safe kind of manner. I think I'm going to try to do a barrel roll, and if that goes good, then I'll just go nose down and call it a night.
Well, Rich, before you do that, let's think about this. I got another pilot coming up, Pilot Joel, here in just a minute or two, I hope. And we'll be able to give you some advice on what to do next.
There have been no signs to confirm or deny that he made it out of there. Could it be that Sky Chad somehow survived and evaded the police? Could the legend of Sky Chad be the next urban myth? Well, maybe not, but I want to believe that Sky Chad has not seen his last sunset, and he's sitting right next to Elvis and Tupac. Why not? I mean, I want to believe. More news about James Gunn has surfaced. Well, as it would turn out, the comments made by James Gunn would not deter the average Hollywood executive from hiring him, and would actually compel them to want to hire him. Gee, I wonder why. The only problem is that there are complications with his contract, and he has to wait until everything is settled before he can take any more work. But apparently he has all of the work lined up for whenever those contracts get settled. There are even actors now, like Dave Bautista, saying they will leave Guardians of the Galaxy 3 unless James Gunn is hired back, with more and more voices joining behind them, saying that you shouldn't be penalized for what you say on the internet. Funny, It's coming from the same people that have been pushing for people to get fired for something they say on the internet. After all of this new support came out for James Gunn, a clip from behind the scenes of a movie his wife was directing at the time, his wife Jenna Fisher, who they have since separated, a movie called Lolly Love, went semi-viral. Let's take a look.
I asked James once, please don't mention.
What's your request, honey?
My request is that you not reference anything, especially of me, because my parents wouldn't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
What about our home videos?
That's funny.
Why don't they like it?
Would you like it?
Okay, let's do it. Camera's rolling.
But see how funny it is when it's your daughter's
She'll be broken in by me already.
With all of the tweets that James Gunn had deleted in mind, 10,000 in total, though I doubt all of them were on this particular topic, and the clip you just saw, there does seem to be a consistent theme to the things on James Gunn's mind. Maybe he has seen things in his career, maybe he has experienced something himself, or at least knows something about the seedy underbelly of the entertainment industry. In either case, seeing more of his high IQ sense of humor starts to illuminate a pattern. What kind of person cracks a joke about this so frequently? Sure, one or two would be one thing, but with as much as we have seen, as well as the reputation of Hollywood in mind, a pattern seems to emerge. Just when there seemed to be enough momentum to call for Disney to rehire him, something else came out about James Gunn that added to the pattern I just mentioned. Here is James Gunn with pictures that were up on his website of him and his friends attending a To Catch a Predator party. I have heard about people doing themed parties before, but for Hollywood types, to have this specific party makes you wonder if they aren't arrogant enough to be pedal whistling. So, where do we go from here? Is it time to reset the clocks already? Well, somebody might be interested in looking into Rainn Wilson. You might remember him as Dwight from The Office. He is an associate of both James Gunn and his wife, Jenna Fisher. He even starred in a James Gunn movie called Super. Here are some of his tweets, and he also seems to have that certain strange sense of humor that comes out of most people in the entertainment industry. As a low IQ individual myself, I just can't comprehend the wit, the understanding of how a joke is supposed to land quite like Rainn Wilson. There is just a certain subtlety that is needed when approaching humor of this quality. What is it about Hollywood that brings out this side of people? It seems that all of these people are completely desensitized to all of this themselves and have no idea how bad it seems to the average person who comes across this stuff. To them, it was just an offhand joke that they didn't put too much thought into. I mean, obviously. What I find that is off so much about all of this is that these tweets have been sitting on Twitter for years. Meanwhile, ideas that were much less controversial have been throttled, shadow banned, and sometimes banned entirely. These companies and many of these people think that jokes like this are funny. That will be it for this video, but before I conclude, I wanted to promote my morning shows that I've been doing on this channel at 5 a.m. Pacific Time and 8 a.m. Eastern Time. I don't quite have what days I'll be doing them worked out yet. I plan on doing these streams roughly 4 times a week, maybe 5. Live streams give me an opportunity to talk about some of the news that I didn't get a chance to talk about in a video. I will also be doing call-ins via Discord, so DM me if you want a link to it if the one in the description doesn't work. But without further ado, here it is, your moment of clarity.
A plan! And I'm angry! I'm not a slave! I've broken the conditioning! It doesn't work on me! I'm primitive, I'm real, I know the enemy, and if we can have this spirit of normal humanity spread, it's over for the globalist! Break the conditioning!